You and I, we owe Michael an apology.
We do.
Because last Thursday, was it last Thursday? Yes.
Last
Thursday
Thursday.
when the program closed.
Yes.
He showed us a video says
Yeah.
Biden has stepped down.
Yes.
And we told him that it's not verifiable. The website was kind of dodgy.
Yeah.
Some two men who were talking. And they said he's going to step down on Sunday.
Yes.
But he's not going to back Kamala Harris.
Right.
Yes. It turned out that it happened. Well, he did back Kamala Harris, but Sunday he stepped down.
Yeah, but I mentioned to you, Good Evening Ghana was on the ground a few months ago.
Yes.
And
when
I
you were there.
contacted some of my sources, and we're beginning to hear that by Sunday, he was going to make the decision.
The announcement.
Like no matter what, by Sunday, he would definitely make up his mind. It could come Saturday, it could come Friday.
Make up his mind to continue or make up his mind to step down?
Yes, whether he should continue as the presidential candidate or he should just step back. So that Sunday deadline
people knew about it.
Yeah, it was always there. It was always there. And
wow.
He didn't want to go beyond Sunday. Monday was no question about it. So, I wasn't too surprised. Remember I told you, let's go on air. And I mentioned that Joe Biden's presidential candidature is all but over. And then you were like, no,
let's wait and see what happens.
But I've been talking to some of my sources.
So who and whom are responsible for this?
For Joe Biden stepping back?
Yes, there's wild rumor all over the place. Of course, fueled by Republican cynicism. But who are behind?
Well, there's no conspiracy theory. The only person who could have helped Joe Biden was Joe Biden. At the end of the day, he really wanted to continue. This is a guy who has never worked in the public sector. He's lived his entire life in politics. It was a very emotional decision for him to make. He doesn't do anything else apart from politics. But then he said there were three things that were going to make him stop. One, if they could bring him data that showed that there's no way he's going to win the election. Two, if he realizes that he's not getting any money, any donation from the donors. And three, if he begins to lose support, among some key people, then he will step back.
Key people being who? Nancy Pelosi, Barack, and Mrs. Obama?
Yes, and also in the swing states, if he realizes that he's losing support from most of the key people. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio.
Do they now call Georgia a swing state?
Yeah, Georgia is.
How did Georgia become a swing state?
Well, because of the heavily urban population in Atlanta and a lot of the urban dense population in urban cities, that has really pushed the
But Georgia was won in 2020 by Biden.
Yes, it was.
2016 by Trump.
By Trump, yes.
2012 by Obama.
Yes. But historically, it's been a red state.
Yes. So I'm wondering why, is it Obama victory of 2012 that now makes people feel that Georgia is red?
Yes, and also because a lot more people are moving into the densely.
Who has the governorship in Georgia?
It's Republican, Brian Kemp.
Yeah,
yes.
So really, okay.
Yeah.
But the Democrats are hoping to pick Georgia up.
To pick it up, yes, because they also keep losing some swing states like Florida is almost red now, or it's red. Ohio,
Florida is significant in terms of numbers.
In terms of numbers, and the Democrat, and it's turned pretty much red. Ohio too is supposed to be swing state, but it's turned red. So what the Democrats too are doing is that they are looking for other places to make up for this shortfall.
What happens in Maryland, Virginia, Washington?
Maryland pretty much blue. Virginia is purple. It's a swing state. The capital is mostly blue. It's mostly Democrat.
The capital is not big in terms of delegates.
Yeah, in terms of delegates.
California is blue.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah, totally blue. But Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio are the typical swing states.
These are the battleground states.
Those are the battleground states, because over time, the recalibration has changed. And so some states which were typically swing have become red, like North Carolina, Florida, as we said. And so because of that, the Democrats try to look for other places. Like Arizona has been typically Republican, but because of the immigration factor, it is also becoming a battleground state, and they are hoping that they'll pick up something from there. So the map, yes, we still do have the red and the blue, but there are a lot of changes that are going on now. So the Democrats are looking for other places to show up their vote, and so are the Republicans. For instance, the Republicans cannot win without North Carolina. Also because Wisconsin has shredded Democrats, even though it's a swing state, it has shredded Democrats in recent times. So the Republicans too are looking for, and then the Republicans are also losing Arizona and Colorado, which used to be, because of the marijuana legalization of marijuana, of that, it became quite liberal. So the Republicans too are losing some typical red states.
Okay.
So they're also looking for other places to pick this up. And that's why Kamala is being tempted to pick the governor of North Carolina, Ray Cooper, as the running mate, because there is no way the Republicans are going to get to 270 without North Carolina. So there's that temptation.
Without North Carolina, Republicans can't get to 270. They cannot.
No, it's going to be very
Even
hard.
if they win Pennsylvania, they win Ohio.
Even if they win Pennsylvania and Ohio, it's still going to be tough.
Really? And they win Florida?
And they win Florida, yes.
They still need North Carolina.
Because they still need, yes, the typical swing states. And if they lose any of the swing states, I mean, that's
also the pressure on Kamala is to pick the governor of, is it senator or governor?
It's a governor.
Governor of North Carolina.
Of North Carolina. But that's a risky decision because,
Why?
I mean, he's a Democrat, but he barely won re-election, right? And so, and North Carolina is also typically red. I mean, there are no guarantees that if you...
He didn't win big in the re-election.
Yeah, for the re-election.
Narrow.
Very narrow. You get it? So, I mean, there are no guarantees there. So I think the most... I mean, from a strategic point of view, the most plausible person would be George Shapiro, who is the governor of Pennsylvania. You know, he's young, he comes from a swing state, Pennsylvania.
He's governor.
He's governor, and he's a Democratic governor in a swing state. That's not easy to do because you have a lot of white working class, middle class voters there. So he can appeal to those kind of voters, and they are the same kind of voters along all the white working class votes, like Michigan, like
so he represents that group of people.
Yes. So
in this analysis of swing states, where do you put VP, what do you call it? JP Vance.
Oh, JD
Vance.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's 39-year-old running mate.
Yes. So Trump picked him for the same reasons that Kamala wants to pick a white middle-class American who appeals to the working class in the swing states. Because J.D. Vance is from Ohio. He is well steeped in the small-town biography, narrative story of America. His grandmother took care of him, and the grandmother was middle-class. She was not overly rich. I mean, he worked in the army, came back and became a rich man through his work in the venture capital. He embodies that American story, the American dream. And Donald Trump is hoping that, and then the youth factor as well. Because when we went to the ground in March doing that report, part of the stuff that we found was that the youth in America, remember I did that report from University of Maryland and across the young people. One of the major things they said was that they are dissatisfied with the options that are being presented to them in terms of the generational gap. They could not identify with both Trump and with Biden. And so what Trump has done is to choose, 39-year-old, very young vice president in order to make up for that generational gap and hopefully to fire up the young people to shore up his votes as well. So that's where
Trump
J.D. Vance comes in.
At 80, he easily could have had J.D. Vance as his son.
Yep. And that's why Trump's son
is best friends with J.D. Vance.
Is J.D. Vance because they connect on that level. And Trump really was not too sold on him, but it was his son who really made the big push.
Trump Jr.
Yeah, Trump Jr. Yeah, Donald Trump Jr.
He felt that my friend J.D. Vance can do the work.
He stuck up his neck. If you listen to the story, right up until I think Sunday evening or a couple of days. Yeah, the convention started on Monday. Yeah, so right up until Sunday evening, Donald Trump Jr. was right up there with the dad in that room. Prodding him, says, no, you need to pick this guy. He's the future of the Republican Party. He can carry the torch for you. He has the credentials, he has the looks and the imagery and all of that. Imagery and identity is a major factor.
Is his wife Indian?
Yes, his wife is.
That's interesting.
Yes. So
that's very interesting.
Hopefully they could make that multicultural, appeal as well. So yeah, Trump Jr. is a big fan of J.D. Vance and they've got it. So that's
okay.